G'day folks, it's DIY Guy 123 here, bringing you another do-it-yourself video. We have an industrial air compressor here, and I've learned there's a method to detect the health of the pump before it's too late. So what I mean by that is, inside this pump, at the bottom of it, where the connecting rods connect to the crankshaft, between them are bearing inserts. And if those bearing inserts are worn a little bit, you can change them out and there won't be any damage to the other parts, the connecting rod or the crankshaft. But if you wait until they're really worn, you can't just change the inserts. The crank will be damaged, the connecting rods will be damaged, and both will require replacement or machining. So the method to check your bearing insert health is to turn the compressor off, so electrically turn it off, bleed the tank pressure right down to 0, then turn the compressor electricity back on and let the pressure start to build. Listen to that sound as soon as it starts to build and imprint in your mind if there's any knocking or clunking or banging. And then as the pressure builds in the tank, if that sound changes significantly, in other words, if the knocking goes away, then that's an indication that your bearing inserts are worn and you should change them. If the knocking sound goes away almost immediately, like by the time 10, 20, 30, 40 psi, then the bearing inserts are worn a little bit. But if the knocking sound stays up until you're almost at your working pressure and even into your working pressure, then the bearing inserts are really worn. The reason why it's important to do this test every so often is in this system, there are no air leaks. So this pressure never goes below 120. So by the time I would hear knocking at 120 psi, it's too late to just repair the inserts. So I've bled the pressure right down to 0. And we're going to turn this on and see what it sounds like. Listen carefully. Pump shut off at 621 and you can see we're up to about 164 psi at the cutout. Now, the thumping sound you hear when this started up was consistent the whole way through. And that is actually the sound from the air filters. It's the sound of the pump sucking in pulses. That's not a knocking sound from the crank. So in this case, you didn't hear any knocking when it first started at 0 psi, and the sound was consistent the whole time the thing was pumping until it cut out. So the bearing inserts on this machine are in perfect condition. But if you do this test and you find out there's a knocking sound that either goes away or doesn't go away, if it goes away early, then you have a good shot at replacing your bearing inserts before you have to do a catastrophic rebuild on this thing. Good luck with your do-it-yourself projects. Remember, you can do it yourself too.